So you found yourself here again. This is the last place that you thought that you would ever be again. So, how are you going to reset from this? You know what? Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. I'm glad I get the chance to see you again, especially as we open up a brand new season. Welcome to season 4. I'm glad that we are here once again and that we're walking through new expansions, new thoughts, new things. I shared that with you earlier last week. I'm excited about today because today we get to have a conversation about resetting. It's not something that we like. It's not something that we ever really want to do. But here's the thing I want you to know. You are already equipped to reset. Change. Change is the only constant that exists. And if we are not able to move ourselves into a better direction of resetting, we're going to miss it. Whatever goals, dreams that you desired, you're going to miss it. But I want you to know that you had everything you needed from the very beginning. When you choose to go into a reset mode, there's some things that you will have to do. You don't like to do it, but doing it will get you into a position that will support you in the future. One of the first things that I often teach, share, and show is knowing who you are in the beginning. That's how one of my favorite books starts. In the beginning. In the beginning, you used to know who you were at the core of your being. In the beginning, you knew how to move into a better direction because it was just natural, a natural part of who you are. And if you go back and remember that piece, resetting will be a little bit easier. You're already aware that you have the heart centered soul. You make certain that everybody around you is okay. You look out for their well being. You look out to make certain all the things that are necessary in place so that they are whole, they are safe, they are cared for. It's in place. But who does that for you? Who does that for you when you choose to let your reset moment be accommodating bad behavior? Who does that for you when you choose to allow your reset moment being putting yourself by the wayside, no longer considering what's needed for you? It's time for us to make some changes in that. One of the things that I often share in resetting is remembering who you are. And I get it. When we come out of a relationship moment that caused us chaos, that brought us angst, that gave us a position where we were thought, I'm not doing this thing again. In the aftermath of my divorce, I did not want to do this thing again. I didn't want to do it because it was messy. Construction is messy. Resetting your life again is messy. But I want you to know you can get through this. You can do this. You have the ability within you to start relaying a new foundation. Yeah, construction's never pretty. But in some places, you will find as you go through resetting that the foundation that you initially were sitting on needed to be restructured. Some parts of it had holes in it. You weren't really aware. You weren't aware until you went through that moment in your world that brought you chaos, that moment in your world that caused you a little bit of angst. And you were wondering, how do I recover from this now that I recognize that there are holes in the foundation that I was birthed in? For some, you don't feel like you can have a better relationship because the very first one that you were birthed into did not work well for you. Your parents are your first foundation, and some of us, we didn't have both parents. And as a daddyless daughter and a motherless child, I didn't have that element. But I want you to know that there are pieces that you were given that will support you on the journey. Now, my natural mother didn't raise me, but I had a village. Yeah. I had mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles, an extended village of individuals that supported me on the journey. And while my grandmother took the reins to begin the journey on a regular foundation to lay it, she didn't do it by herself. My godmother raised me as her own. So when I share with you all about my extended family of siblings and cousins and aunts and uncles, it includes them all. And I'm grateful. Because just like the reset moment for me with a foundation that was needed for family, there's a reset moment for you that's going to take others to support you on the journey as well. So I want to encourage you today. Be all right with the fact that you are in a reset mode because you are a resetter anyway. You're strong enough to handle this. You can walk through the storms because you've already overcome all the previous things that you needed to reset from before. This is not your first journey, and it will not be your last. But there are some tools that you can use to help you along the way. A few of those things I've shared on occasion, and I'll be continuing to share that as we move forward into this new season. I've heard a lot of you share that you want me to open up more about how I've gone through my reset story, resetting myself beginning elementary school. I had to go into a brand new elementary school because I used to have a lisp. On occasions when I'm really tired, you can hear it and it shows up. I also stuttered because when you have a brain that works so fast and moves so much, you try to get all of your thoughts out in one moment and your tongue just can't keep up. Yeah, I had to reset from that. I had to reset from those moments when I was told that my skin was too dark, that my hair, when I had it, was not the type of hair that should be, that wasn't professional. It wasn't something that I should deem accountable for any environment because it was all over the place, y'all. Yeah. I was that little girl whose hair was all the way down her back and all over her head. But you know what? I had to learn to be okay and reset my thoughts about me. That's your starting point. What is it that you know to be true about who you are? What is it that you are clear without validation, that you possess, that you can do? And if you're anything like me, you are aware that it's your loving, giving, supporting heart, your heart centered soul that wants to make certain that everybody around you is cared for and supported. That same love that you give away, you're going to need to start giving it back to yourself. I want you to know and recognize that you had it from the beginning and it will support you till the end. Who you are at the core of your being, that loving, caring self, give that care to you. My great grandmother would tell me, baby, you're the cup. Now, that didn't make a whole lot of sense when I was little. But what she was trying to help me understand is that we have a reservoir inside of our being that we have filling up. We fill it up with love, we fill it up with care, and on occasion we pour it out. The desire is to have enough of who you are and what you possess poured inside of you so that you share with the world from your saucer. You are the cup. Keep the cup filled so that the overflow is an abundance of blessings for those around you and yourself. That way, you will not accommodate bad behavior when chaos decides it's going to show up. That way, you will not have to try to support individuals longer than you need to, more than you should. You will begin to recognize how to say no and recognize that no is a good thing. It supports you as well as supporting those around you. There are moments we need to set boundaries to help us get through the journey of this thing called life so that we can stay whole and give the love and support that we want to give on a regular basis. I want you to know you can do it. And there are skills and tools that are available. I typically share and show that on a couple of different occasions. I'm planning to do a little more and sharing as we move through this process. And I will invite you along the way to join the waitlist for the various courses and options. One of the first I'm going to show comes up in a couple of months. Around the beginning of the holidays, I typically have a session called Eliminating Conflict Quickly. It is in that session that I provide you with the tools that you need to help you through some of the relational elements that you walk through with family, friends, and loved ones. Because the holidays often puts us in a position where we got to show up and we give more and we don't get back and we kind of expect it. So the bad behavior that we're expecting to show up, we don't have the tools to deal with it. Those things that we know we want different, we would love for it to be functioned in a different capacity, but we don't have the tools to figure out how to do that. The thing that will help you through the process is knowing that you had it from the beginning. Had is a term that I typically use inside of my coaching program. It stands for heart centered, action oriented, and developer. Those are three elements of our being. We contain all three. And if you are aware of how you're showing up and which one of those you're pulling on as a strength in that moment to get you healed, to get you whole, and to move you into a better direction, you will be able to get a window into the had version of others. You can start hearing the tones of those that have a kin heart like you. To the heart centered individuals, you're automatically connecting to one another as we move through this next season. I'm going to share a little bit more about what I typically teach and invite you in to more opportunities. I have some flash training sessions that will show up, the regular course offerings that I give on a regular basis anyway. I invite you to join me and join the wait list. I'll put those information down in the comments as we go through. And as you join the journey with me, you'll give me the opportunity to pour into you like so many other people have poured into me, so that my heart centered soul can stay renewed, reinvigorated. So when it's time to reset, we have the skills that are necessary to move us through the process. Sitting on the edge of my bed trying to figure out how did I get here, but I knew there was a way of getting through this. So I decided to do an autopsy on my marriage. Red alert. Is he the one? The pocket guide to finding a love of your life. The free chapter is available for you in the link below. That moment in time, that was a reset moment for me. And in addition to what I offer as the courses, the book is available. It's my reset story for my divorce. It's the life lessons of how to move into a new element of getting your heart healed and whole. And so for today, if you don't remember anything else I've shared, here's the one thing I want you to know. You already contain in the seat of your soul what you need to be able to move through this thing called life. All you need is a village to help you pour it out. As you continue to fill your cup, you give from your saucer. And if anything that I've shared today has resonated with you, then it's time for you to reset. And I want to invite you to join me. You can go to my website, tanyaehood.com. You can find me on the various other places that I'm located on social media. And there we can connect with one another. And if you are on YouTube, you can join me live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can continue the conversation or we can start a new one. So as we go through this journey, like, comment, subscribe. It helps me help you move forward. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.